Welcome to another Emii Creations Exhibitor Artist Alley vlog. This time we are going to Fanime 2024, which happened on May 24th to the 27th at the San Jose Convention Center in California. So welcome back to another Emii Creations vlog. This time we are going to Fanime, and I am just about packed for that show. I also am a little sick. I've been sick for the past month. I was kind of hoping it would get better before Fanime, but that doesn't seem to be the case. But it'll be okay. I'll just have to mask up, take a lot of drugs, and hopefully survive the experience. But anyways, let me show you what we got and what we're bringing. I am flying to Fanime. I tried to do the 7-hour drive in the past and I just died. So no more driving to the Bay Areas. I will be flying there, which means we do have some weight suitcase restrictions. So for those not familiar, I usually fly Southwest because of the 2 free luggages, and sometimes I will add a third luggage, but this year specifically, they have doubled the cost of the third luggage. So I think in the past it used to be like $60, $70. Now it's $140 or something like that. My numbers could be off, but they are within the range of what it is right now. The old golf luggage, because I have some backdrop displays that I need to bring, and then we'll be bringing this luggage and then my carry-on. So one thing about Fanime is some of my friends do drive from the LAOC area, and one of them is driving, so I have secured a tiny little space in her car for this one bag. I'm going to be dropping this off to her later. And it does make a big difference when people do help me bring even just like one bag, because this alone is probably 20 pounds. And since we know the 50-pound weight limits for suitcases, that is a big deal. So I'm going to go through all my suitcases right now to show you kind of how I organize everything and how I distribute weight and that kind of stuff. So my mic audio ended up being not good. I got a new mic that really didn't work out. So I'll definitely be voicing over most of this video, just as a heads up. But essentially, this suitcase right here, my golf suitcase specifically, holds my backdrop displays, which I use to hang all my products. So if you see at the booth, I hang my stickers, my keychains, socks, literally everything is hung up on these backdrop displays. And on top of them, I usually pad them with something soft, so the plush keychains are on the top. And then for my personal luggage, it's basically everything heavy. So I try to put everything that is paper in here. So we'll have the greeting cards, sticker sheets. Sometimes I try to put the stickers in there, but I don't think it fit this time. And then the sticker books for sure go in here. So this tiny bag usually ends up being like 30, or if I'm really crazy, 40 pounds, just to get rid of a lot of the weight limitations. And I do bring 1 or 2 wholesale catalogs just in case I meet a wholesale person. And conveniently, I did meet one at Fanime, so that did end up helping a bit. And then in my other suitcase over here, the bigger suitcase, I have my banners in the front rolled up, and then I have my socks in the bag here, and at the very bottom I have these new cardboard tier displays that are replacing my old wooden tier display, just because they're so much lighter and they're definitely new. I'm trying them out, and so far they have decreased the weight on this suitcase specifically by quite a bit. And I have some utilities stuff, and then my banners, and then my sticker organizers goes right on top of everything. And then the little bag I mentioned earlier actually has some display components to it. So I'm actually bringing one of my tent sidewalls to use as a backdrop display, which I'm really excited about. And then I have some cute drapes, and then some ties and stuff like that. So the 2 suitcases, I bring the 2 free suitcases that Southwest allowed, is the golf bag and the big bag, and then I have one carry-on with that. Good Thursday morning. We are heading to the airport because I am flying to Fanime. I think it's like 10 a.m. and I will be getting there at 1:20. and the full day will be setting up, and I'm anticipating a pretty quick setup. I have some new ways of setting up, so we are going to hopefully set up quick, and I will bring you along the journey. I'll try to do a actual setup video. I know I haven't done it in a while, but we will try. So I'll see you at the airport or at the convention whenever I get to film next. Okay, I got all my luggages, and there's the 2 and the carry-on. Heading to the convention now. All right, we made it to Fanime for setup day Thursday, and there was a little bit of drama coming in, but I will go over that a little later. For now, let's go over a little bit of my setup process. So I do have a new front banner display thingies that I mentioned in WonderCon video, and I did want to show that off, as well as the side backdrop displays and how I use those. Everything I use, by the way, I now have a link in the description below where you can buy it from my Amazon list. I do get commission from it, so if you see anything here that you're like, oh, I would love to have that for myself, you can find that in the link below now. Also, I will kind of show you in front of the cloud drapings. My backdrop display do hold all my products like you see here. It is supported a little bit because it kind of sags in the middle, but it works pretty well. And the other cool component I do want to show off with this setup is my, I kind of mentioned it earlier, the cardboard tier display. So I actually bought this online. It's not on the Amazon link, but I will link it separately below. It was from like a candy display store. It was very weird. It was kind of pricey, so just be aware of that, but it did save a lot of weight in my suitcase, so I was able to avoid paying for a whole separate suitcase. I got 2 big ones and 1 smaller one that I bought from eBay or something, but I do like these bigger ones better because they're just better size and more sturdier and stuff like that. People have mentioned that cardboard displays do tend to break faster, mostly if you're bending it a lot. So a lot of reinforcing tape might need to be used further down the line. But so far, it is relatively easy to set up and it seems pretty sturdy for now. So I think hopefully it'll last at least a few years, maybe like 4 or 5, and I'm being generous, is my hope that it'll last that long. But if it does, I think it's well worth the money, mostly if you're saving on so many luggage costs. But they turned out pretty cool. I'm using 2 of the big ones for my greeting cards and then 1 of the small ones for my sticker books. So yeah, excited for that. On the note of the drama I kind of teased earlier, I will now go through it. So I have 2 suitcases and 1 carry-on, as I mentioned earlier in the video. So I was just walking with my 3 luggages into the convention center from the front door. No one really stopped me. And then when I entered the exhibitor hall, they actually stopped me and was like, "You cannot do this." I'm like, "What, walk in?" And essentially, yeah. So I could not. They were like, "You cannot just walk in like this. You have to go through the freight in the back and pay like the $400 freight fee that all exhibitors are supposed to pay." And I honestly have never had that issue with luggages. And she was saying like, "Hey, it's in your contract. You signed the contract. You have to pay the freight because blah, blah, blah." And then I remember distinctly, and I did go back and look at the contract. So they're very specific about the wordage. So if you do sign contracts, be extra careful to take a look at the load-in instructions. Essentially, what they say is that you can physically bring products in like by yourself without freight if it doesn't use a dolly or a hand cart, and you could do it in 1 trip with 1 person. I think those are the 3 specific conditions you need to abide by to be able to bring stuff in without paying the $400+ freight fee. And so I did do that. I did come in without
the use of hand cards. I was just using luggages, and it was just me, and it was just one trip. So they did allow me to pass, and I think it's because I did do that. And they thought it was actually weird that I had everything in two suits. They're all like, "Are you sure this is all you have?" I'm like, "Yeah, this is all I have." So I don't think that was actually very normal to have everything in just two luggages. So they were very much surprised. But because I guess other people did come in with multiple people, a lot of luggages or whatever, I know a lot of other people that were using luggages did get charged the $400. I'm not really sure what their scenario was. I'm kind of thinking they maybe had helpers as well, so it did not adhere to the one person regulation. But I didn't get charged, thankfully. But they did like have three people come over, stop me in my tracks, take pictures of me and the booth, and then call a bunch of like floor managers. Like two floor managers were called. Like one came over and took pictures and was like, "We are going to send someone else over to talk to you." And I was like, "Oh my God, like what's happening? I'm pretty sure I'm within regulations." But no one ended up coming over and I didn't get charged. So I don't know. But that really freaked me out because I've never had an issue walking in with luggages. But yeah, just be cautious when you're loading in and make sure to take an extra careful look at your contract, mostly in California conventions, because California has a union. I think New York and some of the other states do as well, but I also heard specifically that San Jose Convention Center is especially strict. So just for Fanime note and San Jose Convention Center note to double check that. All right, continuing on. All right, Friday. Came a little early to finish setting up and put everything out and put all the displays up. And it looks great. I do have a new sock display and it's hung up in the back as well to hopefully drive more sock sales. And as you can see, the Haru Emii banner in the back, that is my tent sidewall that I mentioned earlier that turned into a backdrop. It looks great. And then on the sides, I still have the usual hangers being propped up by the backdrop display. And I have a little cute sign in the back. And you'll see that long strip. That's all my commissions that I was designed to do this con, which actually turned out pretty cool. I did like taking commissions at this con. I'm freaking out in the video because they're starting to let people in warning, giving us like a 5-minute warning or something. And then I did bring an extra organizer for stickers. I had some new stickers that I brought to the show. So I had like the Tiger Bomb and Mahjong and the Claws, Capybara. I had a lot more birds this time. And then I had a new Stingray sticker as well. If I can find it right there. So yeah, I had enough stickers to fill out a whole another chart, which was awesome. And I did bring some more ball keychains. No, specifically the steamer ball keychains. So the ones in the steamers. I think I brought 6 or 7 of them. They did end up selling out, which was awesome. So that I don't usually bring that I brought to the show. But yeah, oh my God, people are coming in. Okay, ending this clip.
Good Saturday morning. The line is pretty long. Right there, where the line's right there.
Went around the corner.
I can't cut some video. That is edited out now. But we're allowed in early, so there's no one up here, so there's no technical line up here, right? Is that how it works? So Artist Alley is over there, and Dealer is over here, and we're going to Dealers.
All right, an amazing friend came Saturday to help me take some walk around footage. So while she walks around and hangs out with everybody on the floor, let me go through a little bit about Fanime. So I have done Fanime as an exhibitor twice before this show, and it's been a pretty decent show. Although the first year I got in was like right after COVID, there was a lot of regulations. I actually got COVID, so I couldn't go, so I had to send someone. So I technically was not there the first day I was there, if that makes sense. And then the second year, last year, I was there. And then this year I came by myself. So yeah, 3 years in total, back to back, and honestly, one of my favorite shows. I know there was a bit of drama this year. If you're not familiar, there was kind of a boycott against Fanime because of the way they were treating their workers. There was like a post that went out, a couple posts that went out, and then some posts in reaction that Fanime put out. And some people were still not happy with their response to that. I don't want to get into the technicals of it. If you are curious, you can look up Fanime coworker drama or something like that, and you'll probably find a lot of posts on it. Anyways, aside from that drama, which I heard did affect attendee level, the show is not bad. Like, I personally like Exhibitor because it is run very well. Like, I feel like the Exhibitor manager treats the floor manager treats us very well. She always takes into account all of our needs. We get a little shopping hour after one of the days to go check out Artist Alley, which I don't see any other con doing. When we sign up, she sits down with each and every one of us and talks about, like, oh, how'd you guys do? Like, I advise if you want to try this spot instead, you could do that. And I think that's such a fair way to do it. Other cons are a little bit more of a hot mess sometimes, a little bit more unexpected sometimes. So I do appreciate the effort they put in for us exhibitors. So that's all the experience I have with the staff personally. And I love the staff that handles exhibitor stuff specifically. So props on them for doing that. And they do take into account if we have notes, if we have wishes, they all write it down and really take the time to go through it. And if they can give us that upgraded spot, they will contact us for the next show and do that. So that's really cool of them. And I really like that. On the note of people, attendees, how we did, this is actually, I think this was my best show this year. Noted that I did not get into my biggest two shows, sadly, this year, AX and TwitchCons. But so this would be the next runner up, essentially, pending what happens at Otakon. So I do like how consistent the show is for me personally. I know like some people were saying this year specifically was down in revenue from last year, but luckily I personally made more than last year. But I think that's also because I brought more stuff and I was taking commissions this event. I don't usually take commissions. I kind of decide to take pet commissions at the show specifically because I anticipated a dip with how the economy is this year and the boycott. I was like, okay, I gotta try to make up some loss somehow. So I'm pretty sure that is the reason I did not go down from last year. So take that with a grain of salt. I think there was more people than last year. Honestly, if you ask me, I remember last year being very dreary, and this year I was like, oh, there seems to be more people, mostly on Saturday and Sunday, Friday. I mean, the last day, Monday, obviously not usually a lot of people for half days. But other than that, like, it felt like there was more human bodies on the floor. But the spending power definitely for the amount of people there was down. So, but I see that across all events 2024. So that's not a Fanime specific thing. I think that's a 2024 specific thing. So this is the exhibitor side of the story because that's usually where I am. But on the artist alley side, we will do a little walkthrough for this part of the video of the artist alley side. And I do know artist alley is really hard to get into. I don't think I've ever gone into Fanime artist alley, maybe once in the Blue Moon. I've known some people that got in, but I feel like they get stricter every year. But I know artist alley has a little bit more drama. They have a different show manager, from what I understand, than exhibitors, so they kind of deal with a different person. I'm not really familiar with that process, but I know they are very, very strict on artist alley side. I've always seen them give out a lot of warnings about like height, display heights, making sure the alleys are clear, like from the walking, for walking, stuff like that. So they're very strict about things like that. And they are heavily curated. So they do check each and every person's portfolio, which caused a bit of drama last year as well because apparently some trace artists and AI people came in and then got kicked out, and then people were mad because they took someone's space, which is a good mad to be like, yeah, people that deserve to be in should come in instead. But the good thing is, I do think if someone does get kicked out, you can request their spot. Like even second day, if you see an empty table, you can hopefully try to get it. I'm not sure how they do it. It might be lottery based or something like that. But I know a few people got in like last minute, second day kind of thing, which is still worth it, like because it goes 2 more days after that, so you can still sell for 2 days. So yeah, some notes about how Artist Alley is out. If you have more questions, feel free to post in comments below, and I'll try to find someone that is in Artist Alley to help answer that. I have a few friends that were in the Artist Alley section. Yeah. So overall, would come back, already signed up, actually already paid. So you'll see me next year as well. Hopefully things calm down a little bit regarding to the staffing drama, and hopefully they treat staff better if that was an issue, and hopefully the economy is better. All good notes to be better for 2025.
Good Sunday morning. Yesterday, Saturday, was a pretty good day, and I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. It's better than last year for me. I woke up early too, as usual, when I can make breakfast and lunch to go, and hopefully it will be the same good day today. Sunday relatively is still a pretty busy day, so hoping it's good.
So Sunday has come to an end, and we actually sold out of some stuff, which is awesome. So the spicy news that I brought, actually I even sold the display, also sold out, and the balls sold out. I do still have the display of the balls, and the ball steamers that I brought sold out, and a few of these are getting low. I think the lanyards are still pretty healthy. Lanyards were not that good this con. Some are a little low. Socks did not do that well, but stickers did well. But I think we brought enough where I'm not selling out of anything, which is crazy because it's been the best seller of this show. I did do a buy 5 get 1 free for the show, and I did think it helped a lot. Everybody did try to hit that. Everything looks healthy here. And I did sell out of some sticker sheets. Oh, the sticker books sold out a lot of. I can't really bring that much because it's so heavy, but I think we sold out of the spicy news, ball, some of the dog one, and the bunny one. So yeah, these are the 3 designs we have. Actually, this is all the sticker books I have left for this show. We do have one more day, but it is a half day, so hopefully I'm hoping they will sell out tomorrow. Then I don't have to bring any of them home because they're so heavy. But yeah, so pretty good day. I'm just packed up for tonight and heading back to the Airbnb. Oh my god, I keep coughing. And heading back to the Airbnb. So yeah, again, my audio was terrible. Ignore the me in the video, but essentially the last day was just me drawing, finishing up commissions, and not a lot of people as expected. But anyways, thank you for watching, joining this vlog for Fanime 2024. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hope you like. If you do, be sure to subscribe, like, click the alert bell, all the things. It does help my channel grow. And I will be at Otakon or 626 next. Kind of depends if I want to film 626. But Otakon for sure. So see you in that video. Bye-bye.